You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Weight loss solutions are not one-size-fits-all. Hers makes it simpler to get started and stick with a weight loss plan, backed by expert-guided online care that puts your weight loss goals first. These include oral medication kits or compounded GLP-1 injections. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits start at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help through Hers. Get started at forhers.com/4u to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/4u, forhers.com/4u. Paid for by Hims and Hers Health. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply.
You're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while hoping this Duke goes feral all over Jules's body. Hey HBs, I'm so glad you're back for part 2. Stacy Reid's nimble writing and beautiful brain deserve all of our attention. Don't forget, this week on the bonus feed, we're telling you about our most recent rabbit hole. I know this is shocking, but it is in fact Stacy Reid related. We'll be recapping the first 2 books in the Scandalous House of Caledon series, because we just couldn't get enough. We've got some wonderful people who have joined our Patreon community recently, so thank you for being incredible pals. Paul B., Emily M., Janice, or Whips and Chains, Paul T., Therandi P., and Melissa. Patreon is where you can get bonus content, almost 300 episodes, behind-the-scenes info, these public episodes without network ads and in full, virtual live events, and more. All right, when we left you yesterday, the Duke asked Jules to move out of the room across the hall because she is just too tempting. She smells too sexy. So she agreed and moved to the room adjoining his. I hope that works out really well. Oh, and his mom is just about to throw a house party so that he can choose his duchess. That's where we're jumping in to part 2 of our recap of The Wolf and the Wildflower by Stacy Reid. Well, okay, so one thing we also forgot to tell them about, and really quick, is that they did bring a dancing tutor in. The Duke told him his hard limits. He was like, you can teach me, but you may not touch me. You need to do everything just like pantomiming. And the guy totally bulldozed over his boundaries. The Duke, like, out of instinct, lashed out. And then the guy like ran away screaming that he thought he was going to be murdered in his sleep or whatever. And so everybody is really frustrated with him. And he ends up just like taking off into the woods again because one of his only outlets is running.
Listener, one of the Duke's favorite things is to bear down to nothing but trousers, no stockings, no shoes, no shirt, and then just run. And there's scenes where Jules runs with him.
This is one of them. This is the first time she runs with him.
Because she just accepts him in all of his struggles.
Exactly. So when they like hit the ground and they're breathing really hard in the grass, she's like, he touched you, didn't he? And he's like, oh, you don't think I just did it because like I'm a wild man? And she's like, no, it is completely valid to have the boundaries that you do, and people should not cross them. Being upset by them crossing them is incredibly healthy, human. That shows that you are well-adjusted, which is something she ends up saying to her dad and his mom. Like,
and they're like,
yeah, like the fact that he guards his boundaries ruthlessly isn't a sign that he's maladjusted. It's a sign that he's incredibly adjusted and he's taking care of himself in the healthiest way he can.
While still fucking kowtowing to all of your fucking like, you are the ones
everything.
You are the ones who are not compromising.
Yes, absolutely. So now it's time for house party, of course. They haven't seen each other for like 3 days. And because he's like staying the fuck away, right?
Ooh, she's jelly.
Oh,
when she sees him.
She hates it a lot.
With those other ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, there's this one scene where one of the ladies like falls. She's like, oh, my ankle. And he's like, are you getting up?
What's stopping you from getting up?
And she's like, my ankle. And he's like, you're fine. I can go get a footman to grab you. And she's like, because the idea is that he'll pick her up and carry her inside, but he's not going to touch this fucking rando lady. And she ends up like getting up, and she, poor thing, she's so embarrassed.
He's like, God damn it, I know this is one of those stupid courtship things where I'm supposed to be the gallant whatever, but I'm just not going to do it. And then his compromise with all of that is to explain to her as much as possible. He's like, hey, I don't like touching or being touched. And she is really understanding. Like, I wouldn't hate to see Lady Amelia's book later on. Because she's like, oh, yeah. She goes, oh, well, then that was really badly done of me. And he says, it was a lovely fall, though. And she giggles. And it's like very cute, you know? God, I love that scene. But meanwhile, Jules is over in like the gazebo or whatever with her dad. And her dad's like, hey, bud, looks like you're looking longingly at all of these ladies. And like, I would love for you to start thinking about getting a wife, but these cannot be the options. We're not up to snuff for these ladies.
Well, and there's already been throughout the book commentary about like, you look at the Duke kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
And the Duke looks at you kind of funny.
People have noticed that only Jules is allowed to touch him.
Yeah, there's definitely some...
There's some suspicion.
Suspicions, yeah.
Yeah. So she ends up talking to her dad, and this turns into a conversation about, like, how did you know that mom was the one? And he waxes poetic about how he just knew that she was the lady who would bring all of the goodness into her life and blah, 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 blah. And she says, okay, but she wasn't important enough, like, to not force being pregnant again so that you could get a male heir. It seems really weird to do to a woman that you think is like the light of your life and the purpose of your world or whatever you just said. And he's like, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? Your mom shouldn't be talking to you about those private matters. And Jules is like, we talk about a lot of things, but yeah, I know that it wasn't safe for her to get pregnant again, and you demanded a male heir. And the dad is like, well, you know, I was young, and I didn't know as much at that point, and I was like a little bit arrogant or whatever, but like also, this is none of your fucking business. Go sit down.
You don't get to because things worked out,
Yes.
you don't get to rewrite
Correct.
history.
And that is absolutely what the dad wants to do.
That I wouldn't have forced her again if you had been a girl. And ultimately, whether or not you would have does not matter, because she was so afraid that you would.
Yeah.
That this deception was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. It makes me so fucking mad.
Yeah.
When things like this happen in a book. Like, you don't get to rewrite history because...
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to make these assertions when historically they're not accurate. Well, I would have changed if blah, blah, blah. Like, it wouldn't have been this way if blah, blah, blah had... How about you?
Yeah, looking
yourself?
at the pattern of your behavior, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
So things are a little bit tense with them. Also, within here, it's either right before the ladies get there or right after. He is pacing around because he can't stop smelling her in his bedchamber at night. And so he goes out and he's like, I can't get the taste of her out of my mouth. And so he does start just eating random leaves to get the taste of her out. And all of a sudden he hears on over his shoulder, like, oh, good Lord, why are you eating grass? And he's like, what are you doing here? He finds out she's been in the
adjoining room
the whole time. And he's like, no fucking wonder I could still smell her. It wasn't just me, like, longing for her incredibly. And they end up going all the way out to the treehouse. And this time he takes her up into it. She gets like a tour, and I'm pretty sure he goes down on her at this point. Yeah. He goes down on her, and then he like puts her back together again, and they lay on the hammock. And she tries to be like, hey, you're like unfulfilled or whatever. And he says, I can still smell fear on you. And I'm not going to go any further until all I smell on you is desire. And it's
hot.
The fucking hottest. Yeah. And then he tells her about like his first experiences and how he ends up with the wolf pack. And part of it is because he did want to eat a wolf pup. He was so hungry that he saw this like stranded wolf pup and he was like, I could eat that. Absolutely. And like goes down and gets the wolf pup and then can't do it. And so he ends up like binding the little baby's leg,
healing
and continuing
the baby,
walking with her. Yeah.
And then he gets taken in by the wolf pack because they can recognize that he saved their family,
their beeb, but he is alone. Yeah. And so Luna ends up being his best friend. She's the one that he ends up fighting a bear with at some point. And Jules is like, oh my gosh, you didn't abandon her when the bear was there? And he's like, of course not. We fought together and we fucking won. Like, geez, I would never. She was my sister, essentially, at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she learns a bunch about his backstory.
In a worse book, the wolf came home with him. But
absolutely.
In this book, he's like, I can just only think that she's happy. She found her mate just before.
She found her mate right, like, days before
I left. And because the reason he got found is he fell. And, like, it's all happenstance. He fell into, like, a river and got washed down and ended up near people. And he's like, oh, my God. And they're like, oh, my God. And then bring him home. Like it's all happenstance and chance that he's back. And he's like, I'm just happy to know I would never be able to find them again. Even if I went looking for them, I would never be able to find them again. Because ultimately, like...
That's not my wilderness.
People couldn't find us. It's not like... I knew a very specific part of that world and that land. And
who's to say that they would accept him again, you know, even for a visit? That's not really how wild wolves work. Yeah, so he's like, I'm just glad that she found her mate because wolves mate for life. And then Jules, remember, just snuggled post-coital in his arms, says, that feels really beautiful. And he's like, it absolutely is my mate that I'm holding. He doesn't say that. I said that.
My woman.
My woman.
Well, so they basically have now embarked on this physical aspect, this physical and sexual aspect of their relationship. But they're both very aware of the fact that there is an expiration date for this. Because he even asks her, he's like, would you ever
Have you ever wanted to live as a woman?
And she's honest about it. She's like, I did. I asked my mother when I was young. And then, honestly, the freedom that I have as a man, I don't want to give that up. I can't imagine giving that up. And so he can't not have a duchess, but he's like, because he's like, well, what if we stay friends, basically? And like, what if we stay important to each other? And she's like, that's not realistic.
She's like, I just don't know that our paths would ever naturally cross, and it would be kind of hard to explain. And so one of the things that happens at the house party is that at the very end, there's a ball. And she and her dad are not invited to the ball because the Duchess doesn't want any more commentary about like why the mind doctors are there, and are they just like observing him to report back to the queen or whatever. And so Jules is like, OMG, this is my opportunity. And then we flipped the page. I loved it. We didn't talk about logistics. We didn't explain how this worked. None of it mattered to me. I did not care. Thank you so much, Stacy Reid. She goes to the ball as a lady in a dress.
Yep.
And he ends up asking her and only her to dance. And they go around doing the Viennese waltz and talking. And he's like, why did you come like this? And she says, for you, I wanted to feel your arms around me like this. And he's just besotted. Just once, yeah. And she's like, when I leave, like, you should ask another lady to dance after this. And he's like, no. And she goes, James? And he's like, no, I'm not going to. They are very aware that the entire ballroom is riveted on them.
Which, like, fair.
Fair. This is a mystery woman, the only one that he asks to dance. Otherwise, he's been, like, on the balcony trying not to hyperventilate, basically. In like a manly ducal way or whatever, you know? And so the dance ends, and then he just straight up leaves the ballroom. No goodbyes to anybody, no explanation. And she follows.
She goes after him. They end up consummating their love in his treehouse.
It's hot.
He has made the treehouse more soft and sweet and pleasurable to be in and she's like, did you plan tonight? And he's like, I didn't necessarily plan, but I hoped that we would end up here. And then he ends up like undressing her at the base of the stairs or at the base of the ladder so she can get up to the top in just her chemise. And then they make love. Melody's favorite.
Really great. He does a big go down on her. And then he just like, without a word, just flips her onto her stomach. And he's like, we're doing this now. And she's like, oh, yeah.
They have some real fun, hot primal times.
They have consummation sex like a werewolf. At one point, he bites her shoulder, I think.
While like taking her from behind?
Yes. It's so good.
Hey, listener, if you want some steamy, hot historical, I don't know how far into her other books you are, Melody. There's even historical England times bondage going on.
Yeah.
There's England time like this. Stacy Reid is not fucking around when she said, I'm gonna write some fucking fun ass historicals.
Oh my God.
So they consummate, and then it's basically, this is it.
They both realize that, like, this is going to end. They are reminded that this is going to end. And then he's like, I really need to prolong this a little bit more. And so he's like, hey, my friend invited me to London to, like, paint the town, and you're coming with me. And so Jules is like, oh, God, okay, like, yeah. So they spend this whole time, like, going out and playing poker and drinking and having a great time with her as a dude. But James can't help but be like, when she like looks at a guy at one point for too long, he's like, hey, don't look too long because like, you know, he's not as handsome as me. And she's like, shut up. And he's flirting with her behind the scenes. Then they end up at a brothel. And she's thinking, like, the fuck am I going to do at a brothel? Like, how am I even going to pull this off? And then one of his friends, like, tries to get, like, a group sex situation happening, but then he gets, like, really...
she's jealous!
Oh, she hates it. And so he's like, hey, James, are you going to join us? Because the lady's going down on him. And she goes, yeah, Your Grace, are you going to join them? And her, like, eye starts twitching and stuff in my mind. Mm-hmm. And James is tickled by this. And so he comes over and he's like, and if I did? And she's like, well, I bet I could go find a chemise somewhere and start, fucking all over the place. I bet a dude would fuck me in here. And then he's like, no, and he grabs her by the waist and he puts her into the other room and he shuts the door.
My woman.
They do some hot your mind sex. Ooh, it's great. Mm-hmm. And they're even spotted on the way out by the madam. And he kisses her in her dude disguise. And he's like, what are you going to say to that? And the madam is like, love is love, man. I won't tell anybody. That's like, I got to be discreet in my business. HBs, I might have something you need, okay? We all have those break glass in case of emergency books, and I'm on the record that the Spite Date is now a break in case of emergency book. Like, break that glass and get it in your brain. The Spite Date is a hilarious, fun, single dad romance featuring a golden retriever celebrity who needs to get out of his own way, a woman trying to live her best life, even if she's not sure exactly how to do that, and a series of plans gone very, very wrong. It stands alone and comes with a sweetly satisfying happily ever after. Look, the hero's British, okay? And the audio is gonna nail that accent. The heroine is accidentally arrested at one point. Oh my God. There are shenanigans all over the place. And frankly, I love the twist on celebrity romance when, like, the other main character does not give a shit who they are. And that's exactly who this heroine is. It's a rom-com, so you have a great chance of laughing your face off. And it's a cinnamon roll hero, and it's an enemies to lovers, except the hero doesn't super get the memo on that, and he falls hard, and he falls first. The Spite Date came out this month, so it's hot off the presses for you. I'm putting buy links in the show notes.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Weight loss solutions are not one-size-fits-all. Hers makes it simpler to get started and stick with a weight loss plan, backed by expert-guided online care that puts your weight loss goals first. These include oral medication kits or compounded GLP-1 injections. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits start at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help through Hers. Get started at forhers.com/4u to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/4u, forhers.com/4u. Paid for by Hims and Hers Health. Weight loss by Hers is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at forhers.com apply.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is just such a random quote. I don't even know when it happens in the book, but at one point, he's hugging her from behind and has his nose in the curve of her throat, and he's sniffing her, and she says,
Yeah.
I like when you smell me. She felt the curve of his mouth against her flesh. I knew you would come to find my nose charming.
Charming. Yeah.
Oh my god. This is when they're talking about, does she ever wonder what it's like to live as a woman? And she says to him, why would I want to live as a woman? A lady must see the man she loves as the great vast sky while she remains a speck on the fields below. Jules opened her mouth to say more, but her voice caught in her throat and she could not utter a single word. The only thing she felt was the harsh beat of her heart. It is so damn silly that I want you to be my sky, James. As if he knew what she thought, he said, you would be the stars within any sky, Wildflower. Nothing less. And it's... I just, like, the yearning
romance.
for more, but this, like, this acknowledgement, because, like, so often, especially people living in 2025, sometimes... It feels contrived, right? It's not the society we live in, right? And so it's...
I mean, it feels contrived because it is contrived, but it's the system they live in.
It's the system. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, fuck, shit in our...
Everything's contrived.
Modern day is contrived. It's all societal, like, blah, blah, blah. But, like, it feels contrived in a way where you're like, just do the thing, just do the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like... That's just not how it is in England times. Like, even if you're doing, like, fun England times and not sticking to the actual rule of history, right? Even if you're not, like, because, like, I mean, fuck. When we're reading a historical, like, none of us are, not none of us. The vast majority of readers are not sitting there nitpicking, like, they wouldn't wear this. They wouldn't do this.
Sure.
This is the food. Like, that's not what we're doing when we're reading a historical, right? But even still, it's easy to be like, oh my God. And like, you're like gripping your sheets like, oh my God, what are you doing? This is so and it's like, no, this is so fucking understand. Because like, even nowadays, if you have been masquerading, can you imagine the fucking uproar if you found out that the fucking psychiatrist for even now times, like it would be international news to find out that what, like the yearning that they have for each other. And, like, there's no way out of this that is not scandalous, period.
And it's not just scandalous. It would be her giving up her entire career.
Yes.
Which she should not be able to have. And so, they end up at White's, and one of the other guys is starting to ask him about who he's going to choose as his Duchess. And he can tell that it's, like, hurting his Wildflower. Even though she's really keeping it together.
Wildflower.
Yeah. And so by the end of that, they end up walking in the rain together. And they both admit that they don't want this to end. She tries to play it off like, oh, so then we're both being silly. And it's just so obvious that given any latitude whatsoever, this is what they would choose. Oh, man, the night before, when they leave the brothel, she's like, okay, do you want to go, like, out again or whatever? And he's like, actually, I really just want a quiet moment. I want to go sit by the fire and read or play chess with you. And she offers to be like, I have no problem allowing you these moments alone, like truly alone. And he says, no, I specifically want my solitude with you. And bah! So they go back to the house. They're back in the estate.
Yes.
And he's freaking the fuck out immediately.
What are you talking about? Because I don't know that we're about to go into the same thing.
He's going running.
Yes.
I mean, flip page. He's freaking the fuck out. We don't really even know why. I'm pretty sure it's because, like, he's feeling claustrophobic or whatever. But he's shirtless and, like, running through the woods. And, oh my God, the night before he howled. She screamed in the rain, and then he howled as the wolves taught him to do in those 10 years in the Yukon.
The rain will come harder, her lips bravely curved. I do not care, let's walk in it. They strolled down St. James Street, the only two souls about, as the rain lashed down with more intensity. His Wildflower surprised him by starting to dance and sing in the rain, twirling and tapping her heels together in what looked like a Scottish jig. James chuckled, and she tossed him a look over her shoulder. "Will you join me, my good Duke?" "No." Her shoulder rose in a shrug. She lifted her face to the heavens once more and shouted. Or was it a scream? The pain and agony in the sound scraped against his senses, raked at his belly, and dug deep like talons. He stood in silence, absorbing her emotions and understanding this was how she released the feelings that pulsed inside her at the thought of letting them go. James walked to stand beside her on the cobbled sidewalk near a gas lamp. She took a deep breath as the scream ended, and when their eyes met, he saw that tears glistened in her eyes. "If I do not let it out, it will consume me," she said hoarsely. "I do not like feeling unmoored or as if I am not in control of myself." He understood. There were days, nights, weeks when the sense of loss would have cleaved him into pieces if he had not screamed it out to the shocking vastness of the mountains and caves. James lifted his face, tipped back his head, and howled.
How fucking dare you, Stacy Reid? How dare you be so good at this?
So, yeah, it's too fucking much. They get back. Because this is the end. It's about to be going to the Queen
There's
times.
no reason. Yeah, there's no reason for them to stick around. And so he's running through the woods, freaking the fuck out by himself. And she finds him. She takes off her mustache and stage makeup, and her cravat is off, and her shirt's unbuttoned a little bit because she knows that she can just be herself in front of him and in their place, right? The woods are now their place. And he loses his ever-loving mind, and he says, "I won't marry anybody else. I want you." And she's like, "What?"
"You and I both know that to be in this world as a wife, a duchess, I will not be allowed to study or pursue any passion that is mine. Marrying you would mean giving up everything, James. Perhaps we could be friends." "No." She flinched. "James." He cupped her chin between his hands and held her, looking down into her eyes. James's eyes were dark and empty. "It would not be fair to anyone I would eventually marry or take to be my lover if we are to remain acquaintances, for I will want you always. There's no force on this earth that can stop how I long for you." None. "I understand. Do not believe I do not. I saw you in London. You glowed with fire and passion and purpose. I understood what I ridiculously asked you to relinquish, even as I damned myself for wanting you so much as to ask." Because he asks her, he's like, marry me.
Marry me.
Be my duchess. And this is when she said, I can't
do that.
And like when they were in town, from his point of view, we see him watching her and the way
marvel at her.
She manages and moves through the world as a man, and he's like, this is it. This is her place. This is
he sees her like man-spreading in a pub, and he's like, this is her natural habitat.
Like she's she's so comfortable.
Sure, yeah.
With the freedoms afforded men in this time.
Yeah. And so he's like, then I appreciate you, I love you, but we can no longer be friends or acquaintances or anything. He says, "This is it. I wish you the best in all of your future endeavors." And then he turns around and leaves, and she hits her knees and sobs on the ground in the woods until she like goes and gets her horse and aways with her broken heart.
So then we see her in town. She misses him. She's home. She's like, this is awful, but this is what needs to be done. The queen marveled that, like, it's in the papers that the queen...
He nailed it.
He saw her. He did... Well, yeah, because
he's fucking fine.
Yes.
He's shockingly fine. He's everybody.
Fine. Like, and then she gets a letter from James.
Well, no. First, I'm sorry. I know we're almost to the end, though. And so there's a couple things I have to talk about. I'm so sorry.
Is it her telling her mom again?
No, it's before that.
Okay.
Yeah, because one thing that we didn't say about the dad is that not only was he clocking this like weird connection between the two, but he also was offering Jules a place as his like permanent assistant, basically, so that he can mind doctor alongside him, like his mind doctor apprentice. And more than that, because he asks Jules, like, what's your plan after this? And Jules says, well, I think I might want to go to the University of Padua to learn more psychology. And he's like, oh, all this time away from your family. Both of these parents, like the mom especially, have the fucking audacity to guilt Jules about moving away from them. When it boggles my mind that this mom is like, live a fucking lie and do it under your dad's nose, or I'm gonna be upset with you, you know?
Well, and then like she wants to go study more, but ultimately what she's really doing is she wants to run to the continent and have some time to cope with the fact that she can never be with her mate.
The one time she ever wanted to be a woman and she can't. The one time it would serve her to be a woman and she can't. And so then the dad comes in too, and he's like, hey, you've been melancholy as fuck since we got back. What's going on? Is it that you had an aberrant connection with the Duke? And she's like, no. Yes, but no. Like, I'm just like upset or whatever. It's fine. And then she gets the letter.
Well, and even before then, we see from his point of view, he does go to his father's grave. Oh. And I'm not going to read the super long quote that I have because I'm about to read his letter. And like, legally, how much of a book can I quote?
I can't look it up, you know? I don't have the bandwidth for that.
And so, I occasionally you and I read books for pod, and like I'm just like, it's one of those things where there's some episodes, Melody, where you and I do a lot of quotes, but they're snippets, you know? Yeah. They're little bits. Uh-huh. And then there's books like this one where when I go look at my quotes, I have to scroll.
You have to read 2 pages or nothing, okay?
And it's 2 pages or nothing.
How dare you?
Hey,
and even if I want to do a snippet, I'll see something right below it that I then
I'm like, wait,
realize
I also have
is
to
mandatory.
And then half the time I'm like, oh my God, but there's stuff in between this that I need to talk about. And now I want to go look it up in the book. And it's like, man, I feel like we need a fucking HBHQ lawyer on staff to be hey.
Are you a lawyer? Do you want to...
Legally, how much? Like, are you a copyright lawyer? How much
do you want to get paid in thanks and long-distance smooches? You let us know.
Hey, depending on where you live, it doesn't... I'll snuggle you.
Yeah.
He's at his father's grave, though, basically. Yeah. And he's talking to him, and he's telling him how much he misses him, and, like, because his dad died, thinking that he's gone. And he's like, I'm so sad that you died.
You never knew I lived.
And, like, you taught me so much, and even, like, your lessons are why I survived. Yeah. And I know that honor... Them. I know that you taught me how important honor and duty is, but and according to that, I need to make an offer to a woman of means and
connections and respectability.
But I've fallen in love with a woman named Jules Southby, and she's kind and passionate and an enigma that I want to spend the rest of my life understanding and learning about. And she's a part of me in a way that I don't think any other person ever will. And she's given me hope. The thing I had to let go of hope to survive out in the wilderness. And she's given that back to me, I hope, for the first time again.
He says, if I have to relinquish the dukedom, I will. Because
I will not. I've loved Jules Southby, and I will not let her go, even if it means relinquishing my duty, walking away from the dukedom, and living with scrutiny and speculation for the rest of my days. Father, wherever you are, I hope you would understand that I do not wish to live without my wildflower, and I must, by God, I must make it work at all cost.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And okay, so this is one of those times where at this point in the book, I was like, it's impossible. It was one of those times where I was like, how is Stacy Reid going to give us a happy ending without like compromising everything, especially because Jules has been so adamant that she does not want to lose the freedom of living like a man.
Mm-hmm.
And then she manages this absolute twist because Jules gets the letter. Yeah.
I just want to give you my thoughts at the end. I thought I was about to be mad.
Same.
I thought I was about to be fucking enraged.
Same.
By the end of
I
this
thought
book.
it was going to be like an incredible book until she gave up everything.
She gives up everything to be with the man that she
because
loved.
love is more important.
Because I didn't know Stacy Reid. I don't know Stacy Reid. I don't know this author. I've never read her before. I've never heard of her really. Or if I have, I didn't know that it was her. It was just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know this author. And this is such a great example of, if you are an author, you can take risks if you do it well, and then your people trust you to do it well. Because there are authors where because I know that author, if I read a synopsis and I'm like, what? On anybody else, I trust you to do it well. And I did. I walked into this book, I read this synopsis, and like, frankly, I thought it sounded fun, but it was a risk. Right. It was a risk I would not have read if H.B. David had not recommended this book. And I trust and this is another thing is trust your like the recommenders, because like I trust H.B. David. He's at every watch party. We talk on Discord. Like, I trust.
We've known him for years.
H.B. David is not going to do me dirty with a book recommendation. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to trust that this is going to be good. And I'm glad that I did, because I did not see how this book could have ended. Yeah. And if somebody had told me this was the end of the book before, and we haven't even told you yet what the end of the book is, listener. If somebody had told me this was the end of the book before I ever started the book, I would have been pissed. I would have been so fucking mad. I would have been, but I'm not mad.
All the groundwork has been set before us. And because of Stacy Reid's fucking agility as a writer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, read them the letter, because she gets this letter and it changes fucking everything for me too. Well,
and you told them, did you just tell them about her conversation with her father before she gets the letter?
Yeah, he's like,
yeah. Okay. Yeah, like you need to fucking let it go.
You need to pull it together.
You can't be friends.
Yeah, and even if you wanted to, like, that would be gross in England times, okay? That would be illegal, okay? This weird, aberrant attraction.
Well, and, like, you can't even be friends with him because you both move in separate circles. This is not somebody you can know.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
So she gets a letter. Dear Wildflower, exiling you from my heart is an impossible hope. More so because I do not want to. You once told me love bewitched, it healed, it was passionate, and it was what our souls longed for. At the time, I thought you a fanciful fool, but I now know the truth of those words because this is the love I feel for you. It was indeed wretched of me to ask you to give up a passion and dream that your eyes sparkle with when you speak about it. I tell myself I can live without you because I love you enough to hope only a happy, fulfilled life for you. I deluded myself. It has only been a couple of days, but I know you will haunt me forever. You are like a thief in the night, entering my dreams and stealing my peace. I have seen the unsounded depths in your soul, and I hope you have seen mine. It is only you I love, and I'm willing to live with you always in your disguise. Her surprise was so great the letter fluttered from her hand. James was willing to live with her as a gentleman? Jules dropped to her knees and scrabbled for the letter. She hurriedly devoured the words, her heart rattling inside her body with a bewildering mix of pain, relief, and surreal joy. Do not protest or deny my decision. It is mine and will remain unchanging. I've long surrendered to these emotions I own in my heart for you, and they will never be locked away again. Not by me or you, our fears, or by society's censure. Some might wonder that we are lovers and frown on the closeness of two gentlemen, but it will be our lives and our business. We will travel together, love and live and laugh. You can be my permanent guest at my home, and in the evenings we will sleep in each other's arms and love passionately. I do not fear society's speculation, nor do I fear never having children of my own. My cousin will remain my heir. I do not long for a duchess and children, Wildflower. What I long for is for you in my arms and by my side in this world. Yours, Wolf. P.S.
Yes.
I will give you 3 days to read this letter, cry your denial and rage and laugh, and then I am coming for you.
Oh my God.
And she steps back and looks at this letter and goes...
And then looks at her life, looks at her
No.
dad out the window, looks at her dad walking with another of the psychologists they're going to work with. And she's like...
And then her mom walks in.
She's like, I don't want that at all.
And
right?
she...
Oh, the fucking
She
mom.
looks to her mother. She looks to her mother and says, Mom, Jules Southby is dead. I'm leaving him. I'm done.
Jules
I cannot
Southby
do
can
this
be
anymore.
no more. And the mom, this fucking mom.
The scandal, the consequences, the all of these things. What about your father? What about your life? What about your things? And she says to her mother that I have found somebody who loves me beyond the potential scandal and consequences. And I want to be with him because he is my equal. We are equal partners. And he loves me enough to give up his entire life. And this isn't the life that I have, the level of deception that we would have to engage in for the rest of our existence together. It is not worth him giving up everything, because I love the freedom I have, but I am not happy.
Yeah, I'm not ultimately fulfilled. And she's also taking a risk on her dad, because if he will accept her, then she can still do all the psychology she wants. It just is a matter of him doing the right thing, being a good person, and accepting her for the person she still is. So she's taking that risk on her dad, and she's like, Mom, you gotta get your shit together. And the mom does it's like the playbook, next move in the playbook. She goes, well, at least, I just need more time, maybe a couple more months. And I'm like, yeah, 15 more years.
That's what she said when Jules was 12. That's what she said when Jules was 15. That's what she said when Jules was 18. Every single time Jules came out and said, I can't live like this.
I at least need my dad to know.
And I think that this is the groundwork that Stacy Reid has been setting up the entire book, which is that she loves the freedom, but she's tired of living this lie. This is not the first time that she is. If this was this in a worse book and in a clumsier author.
Yep.
This is the first time Jules has ever been like, maybe I don't want to live as a man.
Right. But all book, she's been grappling with at least wanting to bring her dad in on the deception so that they can have an honest and real relationship, so that she can know that he'll still love her, even if she's not a man.
For who she is at her core,
Right.
instead of for the fact that she is his heir and his legacy.
Right. Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm done. And then, listener, we turn the page to the death announcement of Jules Southby, who perished in a carriage accident. And this is from the Duke's point of view, and he is
devastated.
And it's the night of the ball.
Hours before the ball. And he has like an outward emotional reaction to the point that the mom and sister are both like, oh my God, what's going on?
He yells, like he drops to his knees in visceral vocal agony.
Yeah.
And his mother and his sister are like, oh my God, this is it. This is what we were terrified of happening in front of the queen. Like, he's broken. Something is broken.
Sure.
And he's like,
Jules
she's gone. Southby is dead.
And
they're like,
without
I'm
her.
so sorry. You were so close with him. And he's like, she's dead. And they're like, she?
Yeah.
Buddy.
And then the mom like closes her eyes and she's like, oh, that makes everything I saw make more sense. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and so he's like, I can't live without her. He says, maybe after years of happiness, I could bear living without her, but not now.
Yeah, because he was about to drop everything. He was about to walk away from everything.
He thinks, did she even see my letter? Did she know that she was loved to the ends of the earth and back?
Like,
did she know?
She is more important than family legacy, than family, because that's what it is.
Everything.
It's both of them. It is pitting both of them as legacies against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this expectation of who they are in this world, it is pitting them against each other and what wins. And he was like, I'm done. I'll go through this ball. I'll do this, but I'm walking away. She's mine, and I will not accept anything less. And then she's dead. And the mother, like, I was so fucking mad because she's like, well, you need to get ready for the ball. And he's like, excuse me?
See me? And the sister tries to be like, hey, she didn't mean that as coldly and fucked up as the way she said it. You know, like.
And he's like, no, she did.
And the mom's like, no, I did. Like, I'm really sorry that she's dead, but the prime minister is going to be there.
And like, you need to select your duchess, because even if Jules Southby was a woman, she's not good enough for you because of her.
And the look that he gives her cuts her off. And it is venomous. Like, it is, he's gonna flip a table.
Well, because he's like, Jules Southby is worth every fucking debutante. Jules Southby is worth, I was going to walk
James,
away.
I'm sorry she's gone, but she would not have been suitable. The Duchess paled at the growl that leaped from his throat. And so he decides that for his mother, for his family duty, he will do this fucking ball. And then he says, after this, I'm going to go to my house. I'm going to tell everybody, like my estate, I'm going to tell everybody that they are not invited. And it says he would roar and grieve, but he would not allow it to consume him. For once again, he would need to learn to survive an impossible odd, existing in the world without Jules Southby. The laughter, facile chattering, and happiness in the palatial ballroom mocked his agony.
So he ends up at the ball. He is a husk of a human. He's in shock. And then his butler comes up and is like, hey, so there's a woman at the door.
She's making a ruckus,
saying she knows you and that she's a cousin of Mr. Jules Southby. Like, she's unchaperoned. She, like, we don't know her. She's not from a lady, like, from a well-known family. And James is like, okay.
He says, let her in.
And then Miss Juliana Southby is announced and comes down the stairs, and he is anguished and joyful. And he is anguished because he realizes this means she gave up her life, her existence as Jules Southby.
He
for
thinks
him.
to himself, I told her I would make it work, damn it. Like, oh, and then it says, so, oh my God. She's wearing a gold dress. It clung to her upper body with a mouth-watering sensuality. Her bustle was not as wide as the others in the ballroom, and it accented the lush shape of the woman beneath the tightly laced corset and petticoats. The light from the chandelier played softly over her unfashionably short tresses, each strand seemingly on fire in the golden light. Her hair caressed becomingly around her chin in a riot of curls, bare of adornment except for a single flower tucked behind her ear. It was indistinguishable, not a rose or an elegant stem anyone would recognize, a wildflower. She was enchanting, and as she descended the wide staircase, James realized she had given up her entire world for him. And then he drops his champagne glass because he can't take his eyes off her, and he meets her in the center of the room, and he says, "You're real." And she says, "Yes." And he says, "You're not dead."
You're not dead. And she's like, oh my God, you were not supposed to see that before I got here.
You. She feels so bad, and she literally puts herself in his shoes. She's like, if I had for even a moment thought that you were dead, I don't think I could have bore it, you know? And so finally he's like, do you want to dance? And she's like, there's no music. And he's like, do you care? She's like, no, I only care that I'm here with you. And so they start dancing. And then the orchestra is like, oh, fuck. And they start a Viennese waltz for them because they recognize the dance they're doing.
And so they're talking and they're super close. It's so clear that he is devoted to the woman in his arms on the floor. And she's like, we're scandalizing the world. And he says, hang the world. While I will consider my family always, I will not be a slave to anyone's expectations. I will lay the world at your feet. And she says, I only want the peace you stand upon, James. You'll stand with me always. And then he asks her if she'll marry him. And obviously she says yes.
Obviously.
And he says, I will build you a hospital. See? 1, a dozen, and you will work should you wish it.
She's like, oh my God, the scandal of that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, no, I cannot bear the thought of you giving up the freedom you've enjoyed and the passionate pursuit of psychology. If we are to be together, they must coexist.
You'll be the Duchess of Wolverton, my wildflower. You can do whatever you wish with my full support and power. Even dress as Jules Southby and go to work if you wish. And she says, you impossible man. I love you so very much, James. Jules Southby is no more. I do not wish to pretend anymore to my family or the world. And basically she's like, I love that you accept me, and we're gonna give the world the opportunity to accept me for I am. But even if they don't, it doesn't matter because I have you.
And I'm going to use my newfound status and privilege and power to show the world that women can learn just like men, that women should be allowed to go to these institutions and graduate from them and get jobs in the medical field, in psychology, in anything they want to do, because, like, she's proof that, yeah, you can do it, God damn it. Like, obviously, women can do the same things that men do. And then she says, I can see in your eyes that you look sad for what I'm giving up, James. And he says, bloody hell, Wildflower, you will not give up anything. And she says, I do not feel as if I'm giving up anything, for I am gaining so much. Loving you will not change the person I grew to be, nor will it change my experiences. That core of me is unshakable. My heart does not want to survive without you in my life, James, without the only person with whom I have been honest and vulnerable and real. Oh,
you're about to cry.
Yes, it's so good. And she's like, do I want to be a duchess? No. But, like, I'll do the bare minimum so that I don't fuck up in front of everyone.
Well, and then she says, what I hunger for, James, is to be with you, to be your wife, your friend and lover. Being your duchess will not prevent me from devouring texts and theories. It will not prevent me from writing articles to our society for publication, and it will not prevent me from helping anyone I see in need. I want to run in the woods with you and sleep in the treehouse with you. I will continue learning and studying, and I know you will never try to stop this passion of mine, James. And when I feel the walls closing in on me, I'll don trousers, a wig, grab my walking stick, and paint the town with you.
And he just laughs and says, God, I love you. And it's the fucking best. Like,
I wasn't mad, right? Because, like, a worse book, I'm pissed right now.
Of course.
She gave up all of that, and I'm not,
and instead,
though.
It's so beautiful. I'm crying in front of God and everyone. Like, It's been a minute since a declaration of love has hit me like this.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's been a minute since I
truly,
cried, and I was like, Melody, don't lie.
Yeah,
me or listener.
Let's not be crazy now. Yeah, and so so it immediately goes to a couple of days later, and she shows up in a dress in front of her dad for the first time.
Mm-hmm. She shows up.
He feels terrible.
It's basically, I'm so sorry.
He immediately accepts her.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm so sorry that I ruined our family. And he's like, no, we'll work through it, because he's also mad at her mom. Fair. And that's the thing is, like, all of these characters are so flawed.
Yeah.
And also understandable. Like, I could never. But I can put myself in their shoes and be
Absolutely.
like, this is the stupidest fucking decision you could have made, but I get it.
Yeah, the father says, like, if it's... Oh, okay. She says, do you wish for me to leave, Father? He snapped his head up and shoved himself out of the chair. No, it was my lack of understanding that caused your mother to even think of such a scheme. If there is someone to blame for this, it would be me. But Jules, I do not wish to blame anyone. You are a wonderful person, my son. He took a deep breath. My daughter, you are clever and beautiful and resourceful. Why did you announce your passing in the papers? And so she explains, she's like, I'm going to be a duchess, Daddy.
I met the love of my life. And I couldn't give him up, not even for your legacy, not for anything.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
And then a year and a few months later, everybody, she's just gotten a paper accepted by a big old medical journal.
And it's her as Juliana St. Leo, the Duchess of Wolverton.
And, like, she had to read the letter late because she had just hosted a garden party for all of their closest family members, and that's why. Like, it's like, also Stacy Reid, in those couple of sentences, shows the natural and adept way that she's balancing both. you know?
Yeah.
She hasn't given up anything. And so she runs down to go tell him, but he's not in his study.
Uh-huh.
And he's outside without shoes on, and he's running around on the lawn.
And then she crawls out of the window.
Takes off her shoes.
And goes running with him. And
he picks her up. And
they sleep in the treehouse regularly together?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, they just accept each other and love each other, and they're just honest. And they see each other for all of their aspects, and they love each other for all of their aspects, not just...
Yeah. So he says, let's sleep out in the cottage, and she says yes. And then it says, like, we'll do this and that. We'll make love over and over. They would laugh and talk, perhaps even spend a few days in the woods before retreating back to the main estate. The staff would know they were in the woodland cottage, and they did not gawp at their eccentric Duke and Duchess, but simply got on with their work. Nor would they be bribed to discuss how their master and mistress conducted themselves at home. Jules considered that there would not be many times they could sleep in the treehouse together, at least for a while, because climbing the ladders might be a little awkward when she's pregnant. Because she's pregnant.
Like, that was one of her things that at the beginning of the book, when she was struggling with the fact that, you know, she's living life as a man, is, I want a family, but I can't have a family, and that's the
like, I haven't even been able to consider having a family.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
she doesn't have like a huge yearning to be a parent, but she's like, no, there are just avenues of life that are completely cut off from me.
I have
and there's no way around it. There's no way around it.
No, there is a way around it.
Because Stacy Reid is a genius. Stacy Reid, I'm borderline mad at you.
I'm so fascinated because I feel like it happens with other authors that we do on podcasts, but what is it about a historical read that I love that just sends me down the fucking rabbit hole?
I don't know.
Like, it's every time. It feels like every fucking time, because I love a historical, right? Like, that's just a known thing, but what is it that, like, I read a historical by an author, and then I'm like, oh, it's time to read everything this person has ever written.
Uh-huh. And, like, where are the hidden scenes? Has she ever put out a newsletter with a bonus scene? When's the next book coming out? Has she done a Goodreads AMA? What's going on with Stacy Reid right now?
What is it? And it's like, it's specifically because, like, I don't do this with the contemporaries. Read really. Like, if I do, it's because it's already an author that I've already rabbit-holed. I don't really do it
wonder
with
if it's
paranormal. I don't really do it with, like, there's so many things I don't really do it with. And then we read a historical, and suddenly it's 28 days later. I'm 27 books deep. I've barely been, like, my grocery bill for that month is real cheap because I just, like, what's food?
What's food?
Ramen. Like,
what are needs, biological needs?
It's just, I fall into, it's time to work and read. I
wonder if it's because there might be, like, the extra added spice of, like, the surprise factor. You know, because you're used to getting sucked down an alien rabbit hole or something like that. But when a historical grabs you by the throat and demands your attention, there is this, like, gleeful shock that I experience, you know? Because, again, I like them, but they're not my, like, go-to kryptonite, you know?
I think that's the biggest thing is, like, I don't actively really seek out historicals. But, because I seek out Monster, I seek out Alien, I seek out Omegaverse, I seek out... Those are probably the main ones that I seek out.
Well, and your algorithm feeds them to you.
And then H.B. David rolls in like a fucking wrecking
cannonball.
And I just get Miley Cyrus right into 19 books. And it's not
true.
stopping anytime soon. And that's the funniest thing. Stacy Reid also writes paranormal. I don't know that I'm reading those. I love Stacy Reid as an author, but like paranormal
right
isn't
now
my catnip.
You
but
want
like,
her historical.
by God, I just want, and they're just snippets. God. They're just little bites. They're little nibbles, right? Because they're like, I think that's part of why they're so manageable, fucking just on these right now, is that they're 400 pages, 300 to 400 pages in a night. That's a normal night. And so like I'm getting through like a book and a half a night. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I just,
Do you remember that moment when I went to the Discord and started shouting about this book in a way that was mildly unhinged? It's fine. We're not here to talk about that. And then David had the absolute balls to come in and be like, oh, you like that, huh? Wow, it is a really good premise, isn't it? Did you see that she wrote one in which the premise is that they meet while the heroine is holding the hero at gunpoint, demanding that they marry? And yeah, that turns out to be the Duke's shotgun wedding or something like that.
I didn't see that in the Discord, but I did immediately that's the first book I read after this. And it's a compelling start. I told you about it in in our attempt to record this. This is such a like this is what I was expecting, Melody, when we were just fumbling that recording. I was like, what is wrong?
We can't disgrace this book with our performance right now. You know what I mean? Like, we couldn't do it.
And how sexy that we're at a point in our recording schedule where we can be like, we'll revisit this.
Yeah. Well, it's just, we can come back to it, Sabrina, is what we can do. Let's get ahead on something else we said to ourselves.
We're so fucking hot.
We are. I don't know that we've ever been sexier.
Except for the last time this happened and we said that we're the sexiest in the whole world.
Yeah. Wow, Sabrina, what is your lady love?
My lady love is one of my best friend's birthday recently happened. And for their birthday, their special interest is Lord of the Rings. They have read the books. They have read The Hobbit. They have read, they're in the middle of reading The Silmarillion. They know information from just the miscellaneous things that are out there about Rolkien, Tolkien, and his world.
All that.
And my lady love this week is, if you have never been particularly into the Lord of the Rings trilogy, because I've seen them, I enjoyed them, it was fine. My God, watch it with somebody who you can just ask questions and they have so much fucking information, because there was their own encyclopedia. There were so many things where they were like, we'd be watching, because we watched all 3 movies, extended edition, in one day.
Wow. And
I enjoyed them, but I would never be like, I'm gonna watch the Lord. What do you feel like watching? The Lord of the Rings, any of them. I'm just not interested. And that's okay. I enjoyed them when I watched them. I've enjoyed them the couple of times I've seen them other than that. But like, having this person, like, I was sobbing the last 20 minutes of the last movie because it actually mattered to me.
When Frodo and Samwise are holding each other.
In a way that, like, and when uncontrollably saw, like, to the point where, like, I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me right now? Like, it wasn't like the crying I've done on pod. It's not the crying I've done talking to you kind of thing, or like what, it's not polite. It was just like, it was deep, and it wasn't like, part of it is the fact that, like, I was letting out other emotions because I don't cry a whole lot anymore.
Sure.
But like, it was visceral and coming from a place because of movie. I actually gave a shit about all of these characters, and I just I want to do it again. I want to watch all of we're going to do a Hobbit day doing this at some point too. And I just like the 12 hours of movie, all 3 extended edition in one fucking day.
Wow.
It was fantastic. So that's my lady love, is watch the Lord of the Rings extended edition with somebody who that world, that universe is their special interest because it's... Did you know that Sauron isn't in the movie? You never see him. He's not a...
Yeah.
He has no physical form. I didn't.
He's just the eye. It's the eye of Sauron in the movie.
And the mouth of Sauron.
Yeah. The mouth too.
And like, did I know that the Witch King is who I Am No Man stabs in the face? Nope. I had no idea. I thought those were the same fucking... what?
Yeah.
Do you understand why?
You got the behind the scenes.
It was literally a life-changing experience, and I get it now in a way that I did not previously get it.
Nice.
So that's my lady love. What's your lady love?
I love it. My lady love is... I don't do this very often, / I probably don't do this enough, especially for the amount that I tell other people that they need to. But I have a new audiobook out. I narrated The Elements of Chemistry by Penny Reid. It is...
Oh my God,
it's
Melody,
the
I was
entire
about...
trilogy.
I was about to be like, why would you not tell me that you're doing another audiobook? No, I knew about this one.
No, yeah, it's out, I said. Because I wanted to wait until I knew it was on the website, you silly goose. Yeah, so it's the entire trilogy, The Elements of Chemistry. It's 22 hours long. It was an incredible experience to narrate, and you can get it on Penny's website. And like, I think all the other places you buy audiobooks, it's just not on Audible. So, yeah. Go check out
I'm so proud of
the
you.
book I narrated. It was really, really fun, and I liked it, and it was the best. And it was such an honor, too, because Penny's one of the first people that I really, like, latched onto when I started, like, I think Love Hacked was, like, the 16th episode ever of the podcast.
That's the episode that I started listening to podcast for.
And I went down a bit of a rabbit hole after that because I liked it so much. And so Penny Reid has been like a foundational author in my especially recent romance reading experience, my adult romance reading experience, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was really incredible to narrate one of her books, 3 of her books. I'm really happy
so
about
proud
it.
of you. I'm really excited that those are out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It was so many characters, y'all. It was so many characters. And I really enjoyed it. Okay. That's my lady love. All right. So keep being a badass.
Love yourself as much as you love scandalizing the family and the servants by running half naked across the lawn.
Yes, please. Yes, please. As a couple, as a duo. Yeah.
Love yourself as much as you love a intense sniffer. A real intense sniff.
Yeah. Love yourself as much as you love a paranormal hero in a different genre book. Ooh,
love yourself
love that.
as much as you love 19 books and 14 days.
And counting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know which series I'm going to tell you about on Patreon because there's just so many.
I love it. All right. I love you.
I love you.
Love you,
I
listener.
Love you too, listener. Bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you for listening. Next week, we'll be back with the Butch for Butch Rosh Hashanah romance written by an HB author. That's Higher by Roz Alexander. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomespodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you next week.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.